Death Stranding fans, do we have a treat for you? Introducing my friend Jeff Keighley and Death Stranding creator Hideo Kojima.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sid, and welcome to Countdown to Death Stranding. Sid will be joining us again a little bit later, but right now we are here in New York City. The World Strand Tour has touched down here for an incredible experience, and I'm honored to be joined by Hideo Kojima on the day that Death Stranding is launching around the world. I know this has been something you've been working on for many, many years. The day is finally here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the game. Mr. Kojima is going to take us behind the scenes. No spoilers, but talk a little bit more about the game. And we're going to be joined by many members of the cast as well today on this stream. Norman Reedus will be here with us. Lindsay Wagner, Troy Baker, and Tommy Earl Jenkins will be with us as well alongside Mr. Kojima to talk about the making of this incredible game. I've been playing it. It's such an incredible title, such a bold vision you have for where games are going to go next. So Mr. Kojima, welcome to New York City. It's great to have you here. How is the World Strand Tour going for you?
ですね、4年ぶりのゲームで、ローンチを迎えるのもそうなんですけど、ワールドツアーをしたのが10年ぶりなんで、非常に興奮してます。こういう機会を与えていただいて、すごく幸運というか感謝してます、皆さんに。
As a creator, I'm sure this is a nerve-wracking day for you that the fans will finally get to play this game. How do you feel? Are you nervous? Are you excited? What's your state of mind today?
すごく興奮してますし、一方では新しいゲームで、新しい体験を提供してますんで、気に入ってもらえると思うんですけど、ちょっとナーバスなところもありますけど、それでも、皆さんの、ファンがいるからこそもう一回、現場復帰してスタジオを立ち上げて作ったので、そういう意味ではすごくなんでしょうね、興奮度の方が上回っている感じですね。
And here in New York City, there's an incredible exhibit that takes people into your office, so that the wall of photos, which I'm honored to be on, some of your awards, and kind of a look at the process of making DS. And one thing I wanted to talk about here was some of the early concept arts that are displayed. And I'd never seen some of these before, but some of the early images that were some of the first things you created of the world. We're going to take a look at some of those now, but I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about the very early days of development. And there's some amazing images there of like this city skyline and the first version of the private room with Norman, where there was like a jukebox. Can you maybe talk about kind of the first images that you created when you were creating these?
この会場、通路とか、キッチンの壁とか、開発風景とかを再現してるんですけど、作って皆さんに提供するだけじゃなくて、スタジオを作ってからどういうふうに僕らが作って、どういうふうな進展を、どういうスタジオを作ってっていうところも、ゲームの一部だと思って。
So let's talk about some of the concept images that we look at of sort of how it came up with this first image, which is a very early version. I guess what was the suit, and can you maybe talk about when this was made and how it changed as you developed the game?
これ結構後半というか中盤なんですけど、今回のサムっていうのはスーパーヒーローじゃなくて、人と人をつなぐ、物を運んだりそういうキャラクターなので、これまでのゲームのキャラクターとは違う、ビジュアルを、作らないといけないので、そこで試行錯誤はいろいろしましたけど、一つはその、旅をしている、 イメージ、すごく感があるっていうイメージを、背景もそうですけどキャラクターのデザインとかに、え周りの世界観を作っていったって感じですかね。実はその先ほど見た、旅をする、サムですかね。実はその先ほど見た、旅をする、サムのイメージっていうのと真逆のやつも、テストしてて、それはすごくメカニカルなパワードスーツみたいなのをいっぱい着て、荷物も装備も武器もいっぱい持ててものすごいこうジャンプもできるみたいなでそういうのも作ったんですけどやっぱりそれはもう全然新しくもないし、っていうので途中でその方向性はやめました。
Interesting. So that's such an amazing development process you went through to create the character. Sam, obviously, a lot of him was inspired by Norman Reedus, and you have an amazing cast in this game. And when I've been playing through the game, I mean, there's just incredible performances from all these actors. Can you maybe talk a bit about the cast since we'll be seeing them today? What was your experience like going to ask these folks to be in the game, and you have such an amazing cast lineup of all these actors being in the game? Why was it important to you to have such a diverse group of actors playing these parts?
もう今フォトリアルのゲームが多くてで以前はそのゲームの表現力が全然なかったので、僕らが CG を0から100まで作ってたんですけどここまでフォトリアルになるとさすがに人間が人工的に作ったキャラクターっていうのは本物に見えないリアルに見えないんですよね。それは顔のシワとか、髪の毛とか仕草とか、声もそうですけどもなんで今のゲームはほぼ全てフォトリアルのゲームっていうのはモデルがいます。声優さん俳優さんタレント身内自分、の3D スキャンとか皮膚とかを合成してキャラクターを作ってるんですよね。で僕のその前のメタルギアソリッドもそうでしたけども、今回、ゲームを作るにあたってやっぱりその、モデルがいるんであれば、すごく個性のある人、演技の深みがある、俳優さんを使うことでよりドラマティックになる、それ映画もそうなので、僕のお気に入りの俳優さんたち前から一緒に仕事したいなと思ってたような人たちを、オファーして実際に会って説明をしてお互い信用を勝ち得てそれでオファーをしてで、一緒にディスカッションしながらアイデアを出し合ってもらいながら現場で、ゲームを作っていったというかその世界を作っていったって感じです。でノーマンに関しては、以前 PT で一緒にやろうとしてたんですけど、残念ながら完成しなかったというか中断になったので、そのことがずっとあってで僕の独立後も彼は僕のことを心配してくれてたんで独立して第1弾は絶対ノーマンを主役にすると主人公にするっていうのを決めてたんですね。でノーマンをイメージしながらサムを作るんですけどやっぱりノーマンのファン、ノーマンいろんな映画とかドラマ出てますし、彼のファンは世界中にいるし、彼の魅力彼のファンを納得させつつ、まだ見たこともないノーマンの魅力を僕は引き出さないといけないのでそういうことで、ノーマンを見ながら、サムブリッジポーターブリッジというキャラを作ったんですけどでさらに現場でノーマンのアイデアを言いながらノーマンの動きを見たり喋り方を見たり彼の仕草とか癖があるのでそれを見て取り入れてどんどんそこに生命力というか生命を加えていったという感じなので、ゼロから作ったわけじゃなくて僕とノーマンとで一緒に作ったキャラクターということになります。でノーマン独立して2ヶ月かな2ヶ月後にノーマンとロスで会ってでデス・ストランディングの説明をしたんですけどでそんなに資料も全然なくてでその段階でオファーしてやってくれるということで非常にありがたかったんですけどその時にすでに僕の中ではヒロインはリンゼー・ワグナーさんに頼みたかったんですけど でノーマンにリンゼさんのこと言うと、ノーマンがやっぱりバイオニックウーマンの大ファンでものすごい喜んでくれたんでまあそういうつながりがあって、まあ、今回のデス・ストランディングのキャラクターとかドラマができてるっていう感じですね。そういう意味では、ノーマンから最初に参加していただいたんで、マッチの時も全部彼には相談してます。こういう人を使いたいんですけどどう思うっていうので。
Yeah, an amazing cast of characters. I'm honored that I get my little cameo in the game, and Conan O'Brien. So it's like it all works out at the end of the day. And you put together an amazing cast. I think, as you said, this game is really all about connections of people that have worked with you and new people that are working with you for the first time. One thing that I think we should talk about today is the asynchronous play, which I'm really excited about. If you have an internet connection and you play this game, starting today, the world is really going to grow over time as people kind of interact with it, and we know about the likes in the game and other things. And I want you to maybe talk a bit about that, because that's something that I think people might have heard about but may not realize what's going to start to happen after today as people kind of connect in the world. So can you maybe give us a preview of, we don't know quite what's going to happen, but what you anticipate may happen over the next few weeks as everyone steps into the world of DS?
ゲームができて40年ぐらいですけど、で20年10年ぐらいで世界中がインターネットにつながってオンラインにつながってゲームも世界中の人と遊べるようになりました。なんですけどやっぱりその銃で撃ち合ったり棒で殴り合ったりあるいは共通の敵を倒すっていうようなそういう、ゲームがいっぱいあってそれは非常に面白いんですけど、で一方で SNS とかもすごい発達して、ただやっぱり抽象があったり言葉での暴力みたいなのも当然あって、そんな中でもうネットに疲弊してる人もいると思うんですよね。でそういう人たちにちょっとこのつながるっていうことをもう一度考えてほしかったので、直接的につながるんじゃなくて間接的につながることで、その人とのつながりの感じ方が変わるっていう、そこを、ゲームのシステムで遊んでもらおうと思って作ったのがストランドシステムですね。非常に簡単に言うとですね、具体的に言った方がいいと思うんですけど、自分が、川があって渡れないので、あるいは、壁があって上に行けないので自分が持っているはしごを立てます、あるいはかけます。でこれは自分のためだけなんですよね。なぜならその世界に自分しかいないから、自分が先に行きたいからはしごをかけて渡ります。でそのはしごをかけた時点でそのはしごは世界中の人たちに見えます。でそのはしごには僕のアカウントがついてるので僕がかけた橋っていうのが分かって、で自分はそのどんどん先に行くんですけど、後から来た世界中の人たちがそこを渡ると。で渡った時にやっぱりありがたいので僕に「いいね」をくれるんですよ。で、僕は自分のためにしたことが結果的には世界中の人たちの役に立っていることを初めて知って、でここに特徴なのは「いいね」しかなくてポジティブしかなくてこっちはないんですね、SNS と違って。なんで自分のために自分のためにしたことが結果的に人の役に立っているっていうことが分かって、でいろんな人から「いいね」をもらいます。で誰から「いいね」もらうかも全部アカウントが入るんですけど、で次にじゃあ同じようなはしごを立てようとした時にこれも自分のためではあるんですけど、心のどこかでやっぱり自分が立てた橋を使ってくれるっていうのが分かってるので、ちょっと自分以外の人のことを考えるんですよね。でそこに思いやりっていうのが生まれて、で今この SNS とかオンラインのゲームは思いやりっていうのはちょっとこうかなりこう欠落してるっていうか、そういう状況なんですけども、その、今回のシステムで、自分がここに置いた場合世界の人がどういうことになるかっていうのを、ちょっと考えるので、そのことで、なんでしょうね、コミュニケーションの本来あるべき人と人を思いやるっていうそういう基本的なところをゲームで、再発見していただければいいと思います。
That's such a big idea, this idea of connection not only to other people but to your fans and to the community. When people play this game, starting today and for many weeks to come, what do you hope that they take away from the game? And I know you don't want to be sort of pedantic and here's the message that you want to deliver, but everyone will take a little something different out of DS. But what do you hope the fans will feel after completing their journey through DS?
まあゲームを楽しんでほしいっていうのもありますし、ストーリーを楽しんでほしいっていうのはありますけど、世界をつないでいく、プレイヤー自分なんですけども、すごく、たった一人で道なき道を行くんですごい孤独な感じなんですよね。過酷な体験をします。で、つないでいくと、つないだ人に喜ばれたりするんですけども、やっぱりこう一人でつないでいくので、これはやっぱりこう、ゲームをやってる人も結構いろいろ社会に疑問を感じたり、コミュニティからその疎外感を感じてたりする人がいる中で、その自分を投影しながら世界をつないでいってて、実はそんな自分が他にも世界中にいっぱいいると。このゲームを遊んでる人が何百万人いるので、その人たちと間接的につながることで、その一人じゃないっていうのを感じることができると思うので、そこが一番僕の推したいところではあります。
Well, Mr. Kojima, we have much more to talk about here as we get ready for the launch of Death Stranding. Norman Reedus will be here, Lindsay Wagner, Troy Baker, Tommy Earl Jenkins, and of course more with Mr. Kojima as Countdown to Death Stranding continues.
I will. Couldn't find a working still mother east of Port Knot City. Kid's done enough. No more.
The decommissioning order finally came through.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley back here in New York City, and this is a true honor for me to be joined by the one and only Lindsay Wagner. Lindsay, great to have you here for Death Stranding launch. I remember a few years ago we were at E3 together with Hideo when your character was first revealed,
right.
Being in the game. I think that was a couple years ago now. It was 2.5 years ago, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was back in the day. And now here we are at the launch of it. I got to say, I remember you came to that E3 and you got to see the announcement and you saw the excitement around it. But in the years since, there just seems to be more and more anticipation for this game and your character. So how does it feel now to be at the end of this journey with Hideo, with it about to come out and there's so much interest in this game?
Well, gee, I hope it's not the end of my journey.
End of journey for this game.
For this game, yeah. It's just been fascinating because, to be honest, I didn't know anything about the gaming world at all. So it's been a constant learning. And I will be playing my first video game.
Pulling out your PlayStation, right?
Yeah, learning how to do that when it's in my hands.
But it's so beautiful.
But
I mean, the thing
gorgeous.
is, you see,
Absolutely gorgeous.
Amelie, I mean, it's visually what they're able to do, just even from an artistic perspective. I mean, it just blows me away.
I know.
The quality of his team, and I know when he first met with you, obviously talked to you about the project and some of the visuals and whatnot. But I'm sure when you now see the final version of the characters and whatnot, I mean, what's your take on what it looks like?
I'm in awe of what you can do with it not being real. I mean, my two sons are stunt people, and they do a lot of CGI work.
Okay.
Because they're tall, skinny, so they do wire work and monsters and all kinds of things. So, I'm kind of used to something morphing into something else, but it's never really been done to me.
Yeah.
And where I'm seeing and looking at myself like I used to see in the mirror.
Yep.
It's so real back when I was that age.
Well, and again, what's so interesting about this game now that I think more has been revealed is that people know, obviously, President Strand and then Amelie, and two sort of versions of yourself in a way. Was that part of what appealed to you about this project?
My past and what I have to look forward to. You will get that, audience, once you start playing the game.
I was going to say, yes, you don't want to spoil too much. But, was that when he first pitched you the game? Did he explain that there would be two sort of
stages of the character?
I don't think he pitched that part to me in the very first conversation, because the first conversation was really more about the intention of the game, because I was a bit leery.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
we talked about that at E3, and
yeah.
I'm not sure about the
So,
game. Yeah.
but when I heard about his passion to make a game that's exciting to play, but also one that brings people together, instead of the excitement being, can I win over someone else?
Yep.
Can I conquer? Can I, you know, I.
Yep.
And that just moved me so that, as we talked about before, that's when I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to do this. And so we didn't get into a lot of detail, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Then later, as the process went on,
Right.
you know, I learned a little bit more about it, and then doing the voice over for the older character, I was like, wow, look at that.
Well, and for me, that was, I'm sure, an interesting, fun process to sort of have, you know, these two characters and to go in and, you know, I said, perform the character. And tell us a bit about, you know, your character and how you played President Strand.
Well, to be honest, I didn't do the younger, the Amelie character, because there needed to be quite a differential between her age and the older president.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see what the actress did playing me.
Exactly. I was going to say, well, look, I have a cameo in the game, and there's Matthew Mercer does my voice, so I don't get to do my own voice. It looks like me. So it's like you never quite know how it all fits together.
Right.
But as you said, I mean, it's, you know, Amelie, obviously such a, you know, a beautiful, you know, character, inspired obviously by you, and President Strand, and you're wearing the necklace, which I heard was a gift from Hideo. Is this true?
It is. Isn't that lovely?
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
I mean, it's, and that's such a signature item that people know from the trailers.
Yeah.
And yeah, he gave that to you as a special present, because I know this was very important for him to, you know, have you in this game and be a part of it. So what was the process like for you, you know, actually going through, you know, filming this game?
Motion capture?
Yeah, the motion capture, yeah.
The motion capture, well, it was really shocking. I had no idea. I mean, I knew they put dots. Again, I've seen photos of my kids when they did it, but they do mostly the body work. They do the physical motions, and this was a lot about my face. So I had like 200 dots on my face and in this area here. And then there's this wall of cameras. I mean, 100 and some cameras that are all shooting me at the same time, just making different faces, pronouncing different words and letters and you know, expressions, and then seeing all that put together with whatever overlay, whatever age they want me to be.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. Harder than heck to get that stuff off.
Oh, I know. I had dots that I found
Did you?
weeks afterwards. I'm like, where did
I
that
know.
come from? My ears, like that. But that's what it takes to, you know, build these incredible digital characters. And I know, you know, one of the early scenes in the game when I was playing, I mean, in the White House with, you know, President Strand and Die Hard Man, I mean, it's so emotional. And really, I mean, there's a real thrust to the narrative of, you know, this idea of connection. And I mean, you know, the mission that President Strand gives to Sam, I mean, this is important, and it feels like you said there's a lot of weight to this story. It's not just about competition.
No, and it's so important in my mind, in my view, that it's coming out now.
Right.
I feel we need this game now.
Absolutely.
To where we, or at least whoever's playing in this game, can start focusing on something positive without having to sacrifice what is fun for you about gaming.
Yep.
You know, I think that's really special that somebody could put those two things together.
Well, it's such an honor to have you in the video game industry, being in this game. It's such an incredible, complex story. And again, we don't want to spoil anything, but I guess starting next week, you'll finally be able to talk about all these things, right? Which you've been keeping secret for years now, it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a much deeper story, as we've been hinting at, inside of the game, and you're incredible in it. So, Lindsay Wagner, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
for
so much.
the launch of Death Stranding, and we'll have much more coming up next.
I had no idea that I was alive. Living is no different from being dead if you're all alone. I'm on the beach, Sam. Our beach. The one where I was born. Come and find me.
All right, we're back here in New York City with someone who needs no introduction to PlayStation fans, the one and only Troy Baker.
Dude.
Troy, I got to say, you are, it's not a PlayStation game unless you're involved in some way.
That is actually my slogan. It's on my business card. It's on the back. You have to look
You're
in.
contractually obligated to be in all Sony
Excuse me. I'm sorry. This is a Sony game.
Yeah.
Perhaps you weren't informed.
But I guess you are, all joking aside, of course, we know you from not only PlayStation games, but all the amazing games you've done. But you've also had a special relationship with Kojima.
Yeah.
And I know, actually, we were together, I think, one year at E3 doing a panel, and I remember Kojima said to me, he's like, I need to go talk to Troy.
I think I ran into you shortly after. I had a moment at E3. I was walking on the floor, and this is like his like the way that he moves. What's the word for that? When you're
maneuvering?
It's like maneuvering. You're thinking stealth. It's his stealth. It's his modus operandi. It's his MO. That I get a tap on my shoulder, and I look, and it's Kojima and his translator, and he was like, "Kojima would like to see you," and I'm like freaking out. And we're on the floor, and I got to go and do the behind closed doors demo. This obviously wasn't the Metal Gear that I was in.
Yeah.
But I got to see it for the first time, and I freaked out, and everyone, there was that whole picture that people memed about he and I, and it was like, what could this mean?
Right, because you guys were looking at the camera.
Yeah, we're looking at the camera, and then we were at your show in Vegas, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and he was like, Kojima, like, get pictures? Like, hell yeah. And so we've had like this kind of recurring relationship where it's like trying to find a way. He knew that I wanted to work with him, and I didn't know that he had any desire to work with me. And then the third tap was at San Diego Comic-Con at the EW party. And again, I get a tap on my shoulder, and I look, and I was like, holy shit. And Kojima says he'd like for you to meet somebody. I was like, okay. And so he brings me over, and there's Norman Reedus. And I'm like, okay, I have to be as cool as I possibly can at this moment. And Kojima goes, this is your co-star. And I went, what's happening right now? And that's when I found out that I was going to be in Death Stranding.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And so you didn't know anything about your character at that point?
No, Kojima did, and he was like, details. We'll let him know later.
Wow.
And it's been this wild ride from that point until now.
So yeah, tell us. You're a veteran of obviously doing tons of performance, mocap, across a bunch of games. This game specifically was, a different process than I'm sure doing some other titles. So tell me about the experience of acting alongside Norman, and we don't want to spoil too much of Higgs and kind of the characters he interacts with and whatnot. But what was this experience like for you? Because it was also multiple stages, and you were kind of, as you said, learning about the game, I think, as you went, in a way.
For sure.
Right?
The first thing that we did was I wanted to sit down and working with Kojima on Metal Gear before and understanding him as a game maker and what he's wanting to accomplish, and what I really saw was we are really kind of the cinematic language that exists within games right now is people can obviously point back and say this is where this kind of started, and we've evolved from that point. And so I knew that this was going to have a huge story, and I knew that performance was going to be a major part of this. And so I sat down, I was like, tell me as much of the story and the experience as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And so that was about a 2-hour conversation. And I knew about 10% more about the game when I left. I was like, okay, and I'm trying to understand the glossary and the world that he was creating. And I was fascinated to find out that he had nothing written down.
Yeah.
For years, and he kept everything up in his head. And so cut to from that meeting to being on stage, and there's Norman, and Norman and I had met briefly at either like your event or like San Diego Comic-Con or stuff like that, but never really spent much time with him. And so you never know what your scene partner is going to be like. And from day one, from the downbeat of one, he was just switched on and dialed in. And he was down for anything. And what I saw from not only Hideo, but from the entire team was, just as an actor, when you walk onto a stage and you're surrounded by these 4 walls and all the cameras and the ridiculous suit and the dots on your face, my job as an actor is to look past that and see hopefully what the player's going to see, which is a character moving around inside this world. And what I saw in the eyes of Hideo and everybody on that team was that they were looking at us and that stage through that lens. So it makes it a lot easier as a performer. If I have any question, I can go to them and go, what am I looking at? And they're like, we have all of the source material. And whether it be Ludwig, the composer, who was there going, we have sound cues, so you're going to be able to hear everything. And we have the music I'm already starting to work on. We have all the atmospheric things. We literally just needed to be the players moving around inside the stage that they'd already built.
That's, as you said, you know, it is all in his head, and it's such an amazing world that's been created out of like nothing, right? I mean, all these characters, all this world, all this fiction, all the terms. I mean, as you said, it's amazing how it all comes together. Tell us specifically about, you know, Higgs and the character, and you know, we don't want to spoil too much, but you're used to being, you know, you've done some amazing protagonists, some great antagonists too in games, but this character, what appealed to you about the, you know, Higgs as a character?
It was the first time that I felt like, and Hideo had brought this up to me several times, it was like, this is you, like we're doing this for you. And so from the first time that I read the script, I was like, oh, he really meant that. Like I felt like someone was like, okay, there's a version of yourself that we see saying our words and walking in this scene. But I still had total freedom to do whatever. And there was we didn't sit down and go, okay, you need to walk like this, sound like this, do this. It was just, go, let me see what you do. And we got through the first scene and I looked back and I was like, what do you think, boss? And he was like, boop. Okay, so we're off and running, I guess. But for me in this role, I love how you frame it. It's protagonist and antagonist, right? There's forces that act for your hero and forces that act against. There's no heroes and no villains, because you can, from the other side and from the other perspective, I'm the hero. But from Sam's perspective, I could be the villain. So it's just all a matter of perspective. And I think anybody that tries to play an antagonist as a villain, you're really just kind of showing a one shade of that character. And I think that what we did a good job with this, and what Hideo really did a good job with writing, is showing a well-rounded character, somebody that actually has some dimension and depth to it, as opposed to just playing one note and twirling a mustache.
And you've done a lot of characters that, you know, maybe your voice, but not necessarily your face sort of performance. I mean, this, as you said, is Troy.
Man, and I'm not gonna lie, it's just cool. There's not a. The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, so there's emo Troy.
Yeah.
There's me clearly in the '90s with the eyeliner. Yeah. But it was. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. The freaking geek in me was like,
it's different, right, than anything you've done before.
Yeah. We kind of did that in Infamous, where Delson was modeled after me, and there's been a couple other games that have used my likeness, but not like this, man.
The level of fidelity.
The level of fidelity, and it just being me, was really cool. And not only that, but also then contextually, it's not just, oh, that's Troy's face on this character. That face, and I really got to commend, again, Kojima for doing this, because it's like, he really put his actors forward. And my job as an actor is to disappear behind the role. But for the creative to really put his team and his cast forward like he has. And when you have a cast like this, when you've got Norman and Mads and Leah and Lindsay, and you want to do that. But that first time that I saw that credit sequence roll, and I'm like, they just showed Norman's face, Mads Mikkelsen's face, Guillermo del Toro, Lindsay Wagner, Leah Seydoux, Tommy, and me? Yeah. Come on. That was, I'm going to own that selfishly. It was a really cool feeling.
Well, it's a very deep rabbit hole, but Higgs is an important part of the story, and I love that, you know, you're continuing this relationship with Hideo. Again, lots of great performances, but I think this, as you said, is a different part of Troy, and a really unique character that I think stands out amongst all the great characters that you've done so far.
Thank you.
Awesome. Troy Baker.
Jeff Keighley.
The one and only. All right, we'll be right back with more Countdown to Death Stranding here from New York.
If we Americans don't come together again, humanity won't survive. Please, Sam, we need you.
As a member of Bridges, you're going to work with the rest of us to rebuild America.
I'm a porter. I don't care about connecting anything.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
They're closing in on my position. There's tons of them.
Sad. If one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out.
You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Sound like fun?
Of course it does.
Countdown to Death Stranding continues. I am now here with Tommy Earl Jenkins, Die Hard Man himself. Tommy, welcome first of all to the Kojima universe, because this is your first game with Hideo, right?
This is my virgin outing, man. This is incredible.
And your character, we see a lot of him in the game. He's such an incredible character, such a great voice. I have to ask you about the name Die Hard Man. When you first heard that, was that on the sides when you auditioned, or how did you come across this name?
I think when I sent the tape, and I don't think the name was there. I don't think I really realized the name until I showed up at rehearsals.
Yeah.
And I might have gotten a few pages of script to prepare on the day of mocap shooting. And it was an interesting name to read because I wasn't quite sure what it meant.
Right.
But it definitely, as obviously the story goes on, people will discover.
Yep.
I think what it means, but it was definitely something that I kind of thought, okay, I'm just going to leave that to the side for the moment and just get on with the dialogue.
Such an iconic character, and we don't want to spoil anything for people because a lot of you will be playing it this weekend. But tell me about this character, Die Hard Man. Who is he? I mean, he has such an interesting look with this mask. I mean, what can you tell us about Die Hard Man, the character?
Well, without giving anything away. He is the right hand of the president.
Yes. President Strand.
Bridget Strand, correct. And I think his job basically is to carry out orders for her and basically to incorporate Sam into this mission, which he does eventually get to happen. I think that he is... he has a passion for what he does.
Yep.
He is very sort of military oriented, I think, in his mindset, and very precise.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too far
into
it because it's
no
very
spoilers.
difficult, because if I go further, I don't want to open that up.
I think we'll leave it there. But let me ask you, playing this character, though, and getting to work with Kojima, what was it like, the experience of, working on a game like this, a ton of dialogue, Mr. Kojima obviously, communicating with you sort of in Japanese, but then filming you and performance capture with Mads and Norman and all these folks. What was the experience like for you?
Probably one of the most incredible experiences I've had in my career, simply because it was working with him. In the way that he does work, and we do have to translate. So there is that feel of thinking, am I going to miss out something here in the translation? Am I going to get it? But everything was crystal clear.
Yeah.
It was a challenge to do what we did, and certainly for me, because it was my first experience into mocap.
Yep.
Video games I have done voiceovers for previously, but it was the first one that in this amount of dialogue. I remember going in, shooting a couple of things that I knew I had to do. I'm still being very careful about what I say, that I'm not giving anything out. But there was a lot of dialogue, and as an actor, I do tend to, and coming from a theater background, I tend to memorize quite a lot in a space of time. But it was the amount of dialogue that
Big
I
And this is a Kojima game. You get lots and lots of stuff.
Of dialogue, but very important information.
Well, I was going to say there's so many interesting terms in this game, right? And the chiral network and all these things. Like, as you're reading through this, are you piecing it together in your mind, or you're just sort of like, I'm just going to roll with it?
It got to a point where I felt, I just have to roll with this.
Right, because you got Timefall, you got BBs.
Maybe at some point I'll have to go, I got the chiral network, we got strands, we got void outs, we got BTs, we've got BB, we've got Timefall, we've got all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And once you kind of realize, I think, what each one of those means, you can kind of piece it together in your own way. But it was absolutely foreign to me, I think, reading it the first
Well, and I
time.
think the thing that everyone loves about Kojima games is that there's I mean, the fact that he's built all these characters, all these themes, these items, but it ties into this greater narrative story and this message of sort of connecting people and, tomorrow is in your hands. And as you were making the game, I'm curious, did you understand kind of the weight of the message that
I
Kojima was
did
trying
not,
to deliver?
to be honest, I did not understand the full stretch of this message until after months later along the line, and even more so as it got closer to where we are now, that I realized, wow, this is a serious message.
And that's the brilliance of it all, is that it's all leading up to this.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's an incredible message, and I think it's so poignant, living in the times in which we are living in at this moment. That the whole idea of connecting people together, I think it does come a point where we have to stop and look and think about what's going on in our world. And connection is a big thing, because I think we've lost it.
Yep.
I think we as a human race have lost connection with each other and just need to find a way to regroup. And this game is really all about that. It's helping each other. So hopefully that message will expand and people will take heed and move forward with it.
There's some amazing scenes in this game, and again, we don't want to spoil anything, but I wanted to ask you about the process of kind of having these emotional scenes with other actors in this performance capture volume where you're wearing these suits and these headpieces. What was that like, kind of filming those scenes?
Intense, frustrating, and altogether challenging. It was... how do I say it? It was very different because, like I said, it's not something I'd experienced before. So when you're going to do something physical, like hug someone, or heaven forbid, you have to do anything else with them, you have all this stuff in between you.
Yes.
So you never quite get to that physicality where you actually do it the way you would normally do it, because it's you've got so much between you. But the trust is, don't worry, we've got it.
Yeah.
It's all.
And then do a T-pose at the end. You know how it all rolls. But I got to say, it's an incredible performance. Die Hard Man, as you guys will see, is with you for the game and is a great sort of sage and guide, and actually helps explain a lot of what's going on around you, which is really important. So I was going to say, there's a lot to learn in this game, but you do an incredible job.
Thank you.
Tommy, thanks so much for being here with us in New York City, and we've got much more Countdown to Death Stranding continuing right here.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This is how we'll rebuild our country.
Extinction's on hold for now.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jeff Keighley here at Kojima Productions in Tokyo. I just got the chance to sit down with Hideo Kojima and Mads Mikkelsen to talk about Death Stranding, which is coming out November 8th for PlayStation 4.
It is elaborate. It takes the master to explain it.
まずノーマン、サム・ブリッジスとノーマンがやるっていうのを最初から考えていて、でそのサムと対極になる、これはあんまり詳しくは言えませんけど、キャラクターが必要なんで、クリフっていうのを考えた時に誰に演じてもらおうかなっていうところで、松さんのファンでもありますし、ぜひ松さんにお願いしたいということで、僕の中でクリフでもあり松さんでもあるキャラクターがどんどん頭の中で広がって、もう松さん以外にはこのキャラクターは無理だっていうことになって。
And then I met Hideo. He tried to explain it to me, but most importantly, he showed me a lot of paintings and drawings and ideas and storyboards. And you could kind of grasp what kind of feeling he was going for, and it just looked like something out of this world. And I can immerse myself into a universe like that, and it was really, really helpful to have these very poetic and very dramatic drawings to inspire us. It's just almost like a feature film where you're watching Norman Reedus, and all of a sudden I'm there as well. So it is really out of this world. But I would say that the word poetic is also a very big keyword here. It's very poetic to watch. It was kind of new. I've done CGIs before for certain films, but with actually a camera on myself and moving around was a new thing.
演技もそうなんですけども、そこで、僕の指示もありますけど、僕の演出もあるんですけども、彼は彼の視点でこうした方がいいとか、一緒にドラマを作ってくれるっていうのもありますし、だから単なる俳優として参加じゃなくて、もっと深いところまで関与してもらってるんで、なかなかこんな人はいないと思います。
The man is in different wars, this character. Very interesting. Almost parachuted in and dumped into the First World War, the Second, or the Vietnam War, whatever. That's brutal and interesting, and the images of that, what he was creating, was tremendously visual, right? I think that in many ways that he's representing a human being, good and bad, both sides of the coin. This is a solid human being. Sometimes you believe you're doing something good and it turns out not to be so good, and vice versa. I think that he's representing that in this game.
Countdown to Death Stranding continues, and now I am joined by Sam Porter Bridges himself, Norman Reedus. Norman, today's the day. It's finally coming out.
Finally, yeah. Sort of 3 years ago on this.
Yeah.
And it's been a fantasy world every day when you come to set on something like this. So to see it come to fruition, it's really, really cool.
And I gotta say, everyone is so hyped about this game. I've been playing it. Your performance is incredible. It's such an amazing world, and you've been enrolled in this vision with Hideo for a while. And I gotta say, now that people like me were getting to play it, I think we can see why you got so excited about this project, because it is so deep and textured. And even your character, I mean, there's a lot going on with Sam.
There's a lot going on in the whole game, in the whole world there's a lot going on. Hideo's really easy to work with, I have to say. He's one of those people you just kind of follow their lead, you just do whatever they say, and he's very, he's good at collaboration. If you come up with an idea, he doesn't freak out, he kind of jumps on that idea and adds 25 more layers to it, so he's been a joy to work with.
So where we're at now, there's so much hype for this game. I mean, fans around the world are so excited about it. When you first started talking to Hideo about doing this project specifically, did you have any idea this is where it was going to end up, what it was going to look like, how it was going to feel like?
I didn't have any idea. Well, first it was Guillermo. Guillermo del Toro introduced us, and Guillermo gave me my start in the acting world. He put me in my first movie, and these kind of people kind of hang out together. They kind of have a mutual respect for each other. And when he told me about Hideo, I was in. He was like, just say yes and just do it. Trust me. And he was right.
Yeah. Now let's talk a bit about the process of building this game, because everyone's seen the final result, which is this incredible game. But you did a lot of work on this game. I mean, there's a lot of voiceover, a lot of performance capture. What was the journey like for you over these past 3 years making this game?
It was a lot of work, I won't lie. It was 3 years worth of work, but it was something that I'd never done before. I mean, to have all those millions of dots on your face and wear the outfit and sort of imagine things that aren't in front of you, it was a brand new experience. I mean, I kind of went into it with open eyes, and every single day was a new adventure, and you put a lot of trust in who you're working with, because it seems so surreal. It's not like my normal job, which is also surreal. But this, you're imagining things, and you're trusting the vision to be represented in what's being told to you by the person you're working with. So it was there was a lot of trust. I think he had a lot of trust in me, and I had a lot of trust in him. And then the group is really good.
Yeah.
So it was a good team. So every day was a new adventure, you know.
And there's a lot going on in this game, especially as people are playing it and realizing all the different, timefall and the chiral network and all these themes. As you were going through this, how long did it take you to kind of piece together all these different elements? Because, Hideo has a very deep message.
It took a long time, I won't lie. I will say probably, the first week I had no clue what was going on. Second week I had a little bit more, but not really. By the end of the first year, I kind of had a good idea what we were doing. By the second year, I think I knew it. And by the third year, I think, the thing about his mind is like one of those Russian dolls that you open up and then you open up another. It just keeps going forever. So by the time we were getting close to completion, and then he would add things on. So we'd have an end date here, and then they'd be like, no, this is the end date. No, this is the end date. But I was excited to go to work because it was, like I said, it was a new adventure every day. But you can't peel enough layers off the onion. It just keeps going. And happily surprised with every single thing I ever saw, right from the beginning, though.
Yeah, and it also builds to a much deeper theme. Hideo's talked a lot about this theme of connecting people, bringing the world together. Yeah. In these times, it feels like that's kind of a theme, which, again, people see the footage and say, beautiful game, but there's something deeper there. I wanted you to maybe talk a little bit about, that theme and how you think it's communicated in the game and, how you brought that to your performance.
First of all, it's a very revolutionary way to go about things. It takes a lot of chutzpah, it takes a lot of guts to head in that direction in the first place. It's, with the state of everything, it's refreshing to have a different point of view, and especially in that direction. So right from the get-go, I knew that was the plan. So it was nice to be part of something different. I have a son that plays video games every once in a while, and not that he's a huge gamer, but it was all the same thing. It was all find, kill, who's left, and to have a game be a connecting game is it's really revolutionary to me. I never thought that would happen, and I think it's time. I think it's a good time for something like that to happen, and he's the guy to do that. Yeah. He comes at things with an idea and a thought and a state of mind even, but it's not like this, and there's a sense of humor, as you can see when you play the game. He's got a very fun disposition, and that comes out in the game, I think.
You can make Sam do almost anything in this game.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun is, even though you've lived this character for a number of years, I'm sure when you see footage, you're like, oh, I didn't know he could do that.
Right from the get-go, there's these little worms that float in the sky, and that's sustenance. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's a very fun guy. I could tell you stories, but I'll tell you later. But he's a lot of fun, and you can see the sense of humor in the gameplay as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing is when people are showing Sam's private room and all this crazy stuff, that it's just as you said, it's all there, and then it builds into this truly kind of epic experience. Yeah. But to me, at the heart of it is this rich story and some amazing performances. Playing through the game with you and Mads and Leah, there's so much texture there, I think, to...
He's got good taste in people, in actors, in films he likes, in personalities. I think like-minded people have the same kind of taste in things. I knew he and Guillermo would be good friends, right off the bat. I was like, oh, I get it. I understand these two together. And Mads is brilliant, and Leah's brilliant, and Lindsay, and Troy's a pro. Yeah. So he's got good taste.
You've worked in, obviously a lot of television and films, and now, even in some other games. But I'm curious, after going through this experience, where do you sort of see games sitting on the entertainment spectrum, for lack of a better term? It feels like there's something. I've always believed that this medium is kind of the most immersive form of entertainment out there, and especially with someone like Hideo pushing it forward.
This experience, has this made you open your eyes even more to this industry?
It has, when I played video games back in the day, my game was Defender. You know what I mean? It was like, boo, 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 it was, I know Hidio's laughing over it, but it's, those were the games, and, Asteroids, stuff like that. But, the thing with this kind of world is you're in the world yourself making decisions in a epic movie style setting, almost even larger than a movie style setting, because you're involved. You're not just watching it and feeling the emotions of a movie, which is great too, or a television show, but it's you doing it, which is amazing. Like, where technology has come since Defender days is mind-blowing to me. But like what I was trying to say before is what I think makes a good director in any of those mediums is, they'll have an idea how a scene should work or something like that, and you might get to a location and it's different when I get there or when another actor gets there or a DP gets there. They can see what's around and they work with what's around. They'll work with the couch, the step, the lights are over here, it's dark over there, like whatever. And if you throw something new at them, they short circuit, the ones that aren't great, you know what I mean? And it's hard to collaborate with a person like that. He's the opposite of that. Like, you literally will come up with something and he gets excited and he's like, yes, and then we're gonna do this on top of that, and and it was fun. It made, and Guillermo's like that. Like, I remember the first time I ever worked with Guillermo, he's behind the monitor during a fight sequence and he's like this, pew, 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 and I was like watching him, I was like, oh my God, like that kind of attitude is infectious. Like, it brightens up the whole room. Hidio's like that. People hang on his every word because he comes up with things that are new and refreshing. And
we look at all these characters in this world. I mean, it's just insane. Like
it's nuts.
All this
stuff
but
on game day, like it's equally as fun. It's he's a real joy to work with. If he ever went into movies or anything else, I would line up to do that in a heartbeat. He's beyond won me over.
Well, I know Mr. Kojima, I think, is in the house somewhere here. We're going to get him to come on out and hang out as well, and chat about what you guys have done together. Because, again, it's been an amazing collaboration to come together with all you guys. And here he is, the one and only Hideo Kojima. Good to see you. How's everything, Aki? Wow. So you guys are together again. I remember when you guys were on stage at the Game Awards saying nothing was going to stop you this time, and it didn't. Here we are at launch night, and it must be so amazing for you guys to have gone through this journey and to be here finally at launch night. So I wanted to ask you, as we wrap things up here and get ready for launch today, is there anything that you want to say to the fans that have been watching this and excited for so many years about the game?
4年近く前に
Like 4 years ago, I started
何にもない時ですよね。
with nothing.
事務所もなくて、ス
I
タ
didn't
ッフ
have
も
a
いなくて、
studio,
エンジンもなく
no
て、
staff or
ノ
no
ーマン
engine.
に連絡して、
And I contacted Norman
寿司屋であって、
and we had sushi.
デスストの、資料も何もなく
And I
て、
didn't have any sheets
ビ
explaining
ジュアル
Death
と
Stranding.
僕が口頭で説明し
Just
た。
visual, and I would verbally
も
explain
ち
it to
ろ
Norman.
ん台本もなくて、
And no script, of
ボリュー
course.
ムも分からず、
We don't know the whole
普
volume.
通なら絶対受けない。
And
と
normal
思うんで
people
す
would
けど、
say no to that,
出てくれ
right?
るっていう。
But I asked Norman, would you be in my game?
で、快諾してもらって。
And Norman said, yeah,
で
right
そこ
away.
から3年半
It took about
一緒に作
3
ってきたん
and a
で、
half years, and we worked
す
together.
ごい嬉しいですよ。
I'm really happy
プレイ
today.
ヤーがノーマンになるんですよね、今回。
The player will become
なん
Norman.
で、だからノーマンと作った。一
That's
緒にアイデア出し合って、
I created the
サムと
character
いう
with
キャラクター
Norman
ですけど、
and create a
なんで
character
非
called
常に
Sam.
こ なんでしょうね、こう今までと違うやり方でしたけ
So
ど、
it's unlike what I have done
本当に
before.
世界をつないでいくゲームですけども、ノーマンともつながって、
It's a game that you
他のキャ
connect
ス
the
トとも
world,
つながって、スタッ
but
フともつな
also
が
connect
って、
with Norman,
それがようや
connect
く
with
発表でき
staffs.
るんで、発表すること
And
で
I'm
世界とつながるんで、
At the time where I announced this and released this in the world, and I'm going to be
ノ
connected
ーマンに感謝です。
with the world, and I feel so overwhelmed. I'm really thankful to Norman. Thank you.
No, and you guys have, had such a great partnership on this, and I know it was important for you, as I said, to have Norman in this game, start the brand new studio, and I know it's been a long journey, and I've been a part of it too, and it's so nice to finally be here with such a game with so much anticipation, so much excitement, and doing something very different for the industry. And Norman, I think you being in the game, starring in the game, I think is takes it to another level as well. So thank you.
He's the star of the game. I'm just
the vessel. But yeah, it's an amazing partnership that you guys have had together. And now we can stop talking about it. We can let people actually play it, which millions around the world are ready to jump in for Death Stranding. So any tips for when people play tonight? Start playing, Hideo?
こういうふうにプレイしたらみたいなのないか。
いや、自由に遊んでもらうことがこのゲームの
No, I want everyone to play
いろん
freely.
なやり
That's
方
the
がある
game
し、い
is
ろんな
about.
スタイルがあって
There's so many
で
styles,
こ
so
の
many
ゲー
ways
ム
to
を
play.
またその配信というか
So
実況してもらって
if someone kind of
それで世
broadcasts
界
the
がつなが
gameplay,
る
that even
そ
connects
し
the
て間
world
接的にもオ
together.
ンラインでつながるので
And it will be
皆
indirect
さんが
connection
遊べ
too.
ば遊べば遊ぶほど
So
世
the
界とつ
more
な
you
がる
play, the more connected to
僕ら
the
もつながる
world. And I'll be connected too.
みんなで世界をつなげましょう。
So let's connect the world together.
All right, let's connect the world in Death Stranding. Norman Reedus, Hideo Kojima, thanks for being here in New York. Aki, thanks as always for all your help. We will be right back with more Countdown to Death Stranding.
Time's running out. Help Amelie. She needs you.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
We've had 5 mass extinctions, each caused by an extinction entity. And now it's time for number 6.
What an amazing day today, celebrating the launch of Death Stranding with Hideo Kojima and the cast. And Sid now joins us here on the couch.
Here I am, and I've been listening backstage,
Yes.
and I've got to say, just fascinating hearing how this game came together.
Yep.
All the incredible talent, all the ingenuity of Kojima-san here and the larger Kojima Productions. I mean, just a really incredible game. And Jeff, I know you've gotten a chance to go
Yes,
hands-on. I've been playing it a little as well. What's your favorite piece of equipment so far?
Well, I got to say, first of all, I'm jealous that Conan gets the honor suit that he gives to people. I don't get to give any people anything in the game, I don't think. And I haven't found myself in the game. But yeah, I got to say, the things that I love with this game is the sense of traversal and some of the things like, the hoverboard, the floating carrier. That's been really fun for me to kind of, move through the environment because it's such an expansive world. And I think the thing to me, being able to move through, that's the thing that I love the sense of traversal in it. What about for you, Sid? The
traversal, clearly a huge star here in Death Stranding. I would say any of the exoskeletons, I think are just, the game completely is transformed when you start to get those. And there's multiple types. I mean, the speed one is a ton of fun. Kojima-san, is there a particular piece of equipment that you find yourself gravitating to?
僕はフローターが好きなんですけど、それよりもですね、物を運んでて山のこの稜線を越えていってパッと視界が晴れた時に、下にですね街並みが見えたり、綺麗な川が見えたりするっていうそういう感覚ってなかなかゲームではなかったのでそこが僕が一番気に入っているところですね。
I will say the sense of discovery in this game. I love the quiet moments. In some games, they sort of are always, you feel like you're always rushing to the next mission objective. In this game, I think it's in some ways almost strangely peaceful to just sort of take in the environment, and it's so beautiful after you accomplish something and really feel like you want to explore every every angle of the world, and even those angles that you can't get to. That's always part of the fun, is like, how can I get up there? And you're right, when you finally, get to a certain part of the world, I know, even having played through a lot of it, I feel like I still haven't even seen everything across America, and it's just like there's so much more to explore.
So much to explore in general, and this is just a special game. It's a unique game. Kojima-san, congratulations on launch, and thanks to all of you out there for watching. I hope you get a chance to try out Death Stranding when it comes to PS4 November 8th. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
It ain't as simple as it seems. They'll try and stop you every step of the way. They've torn us apart, fractured our society.
Hurry, Sam. You know what's at stake.
And the only way to save it is in my hands. My name is Sam Porter Bridges. It's my job to reconnect us.
PlayStation